Hey everyone, it's Leska here, back to another Rogue Company video for you guys today, and I believe this is my third Rogue Company video that I have posted so far on my channel. And in this video, I am just going to show you guys my settings, controls, and bindings for Rogue Company. And I use an Elite controller, and so if you use a Scuff with paddles or any other controller with paddles, this video would be very helpful for you, because I believe I have a really good setup with my current paddles and key bindings with my controller. And if you are use keyboard and mouse on this game, I can't help you guys with that because I don't use keyboard and mouse. I just use a controller. So let's go straight into the settings. And I am pretty new to this game actually. I've only been playing it for like a week or two since the closed beta came out, but I actually have a day and 17-hour playtime on it, so I have been grinding, and I do know quite a bit about the game so far, but there is more that I need to learn. So let's just dive straight into the settings. So for my display, I keep the brightness at 50. The game's already really bright. There's not very many shady, dark areas on the map, so it's not that necessary to increase your brightness. I would recommend taking your motion blur off. I'm not a fan of that. Keep your safe frame on 100%. What you're going to want to do as default, I'm pretty sure the master volume is not at 100%, so you're going to want to bump that up. I turn my music off. I like the music on this game, but I just turn it off because after a while it gets kind of annoying. That's about it for audio. For controls, we're going to scroll past the mouse and go down to controller. I am rocking 6 sensitivity for both horizontal and vertical, and then 50 for the ADS sensitivities, both horizontal and vertical. I believe the 50 is default, and I bumped up to 6. I don't know what the default is exactly, but I bumped that up. Acceleration boost, I turned that to 5 and reduced the multiplier down to 1. This is pretty hard to explain, but in the description it says determines the rate at which turn speed increases from standard max to that boost multiplied speed. So I believe what it's saying is basically just how fast, when you hit the right stick, does your aim accelerate to the fastest speed possible. I could be totally wrong about this, but that's what I believe. That's the best way I can describe it, honestly. ADS mode, you're going to want to have that on hold like pretty much every other shooter. What's weird is I have my scope sensitivity less than my ADS sensitivity, which is kind of weird because in other games I remember putting the scope sensitivity actually as a higher sensitivity. But when you're using guns with scopes on this game, like the Sniper or the Saint with the 2x scope, the sensitivity feels a lot faster than just your normal ADS sensitivity. So I bumped that down a little bit. I would recommend that. And 42, it feels pretty good right now for me. So that's what I have it at. Definitely taking vibration off. You do not want to invert your Y-axis unless you're crazy and you play like that. Reload interact button, I would keep it at default, which is press reload and hold to interact. I had it on the third one, so you could press X on everything and you don't have to hold at all, but like it gets really confusing because you won't even be looking at a gun and the gun will like pop up for you to press X on, and you're trying to like reload and it'll pick up the gun. So you do not want to do that. You just want to keep the interact button on, like when you're opening up a garage or picking up a weapon. You want to just keep that on hold and then just have press reload. That's the best way to go with it. I reduced the hold time and the double press time all the way down. Hold to crouch off, hold to sprint off, auto sprint off. If y'all would want that on, y'all could. That's kind of just preference, but I've never tried it and probably never will. So let's move on to the bindings, which are probably the most important part about this setup, especially with an Elite controller and if you have paddles. This may help you if you don't have paddles, but it won't help you as much because your bindings will be different because I have paddles. So as you'll see, the first thing you'll probably see is, whoa, you have dodge roll at right D-pad. So yeah, on default, the melee is set to right D-pad, which is really awkward. So what I did is put my dodge roll to right D-pad and set that as a paddle. So my top right paddle is dodge roll, and it's set to right D-pad. And then I have crouch as one of my paddles, and then basically I converted the melee to my right stick, so it's really easy to melee. And if y'all don't know, Meleeing on this game is crazy OP, like so helpful. So having the melee as your right stick ready to just click anytime, or your thumbs on it at all times, it's just so helpful.
Okay,
Right here, Dallas, the hacker apparently.
They're rushing. I think they're flanking.
Hacker's pushing. Hacker's
Kid on the wall.
No, he sucks.
The kid on this right shoot. There's 2 on the right.
Dude, I got a girl on me. Right here.
Teammate right there.
Bro, oh my, dude, I'm about to make this girl rage quit. She literally can't kill me.
Oh, there's 2 of them on the wall.
I just destroyed them, bro.
They're rezzing him too. Unbelievable. I'm getting triple teamed.
We have control of the objective.
The kid pushing you. Oh yeah.
On the point.
There's another one going around.
Trench is your left. Oh, wait, he's on
Girl's
the
destroying me.
There's guy in the far back. So no one.
Flank, bro, behind.
Push, cutting on the other side of you.
Oh my gosh, I knifed her.
There's 2 of you in front of
The
you.
guy on
I would highly recommend that. So yeah, and then I keep the ADS fires all the same. X to reload. I did switch my gadget to RB. The default is LB, but I'm just so used to like Call of Duty and other games where most of the buttons, like grenades that you're throwing, are with RB. So I just switched that, and then I switched toggle shoulder to LB. But I don't even use LB because I have toggle shoulder as one of my paddles, which is another huge difference. If you have paddles, I would definitely recommend putting that as one of your paddles. Keeping all this the same. And then obviously there's the melee at the right stick. And then I kept all this the same as well, I believe. So none of that's changed. So yeah, this might be a little confusing at first, but let me just go to the Xbox accessory settings so where y'all can just have like a better visual of where my paddles are actually at and what they are set at. So here we go. For Roko, I have LB as the top left. So that is basically your toggle shoulder. So you're going to be ADSing with your with LT with your left finger or your left hand, and then so having LB on the left side, it kind of meshes really well and works really well. So you can be zooming in and switching your shoulder at the same time with your paddle. And then I prefer the crouch button at the bottom left paddle, which is B. I like that a lot. And then I have the dodge roll and the A, the jump button, on my right side, because they're similar kind of actions. A dodge roll, jump, they're pretty similar. You're going to be pressing them a lot. So I have them both on my right side of my hand, and that just feels really comfortable for me. Y'all can switch it to whatever y'all would like. Whatever you feel comfortable with is the best, but I would definitely recommend having these buttons and this setting and bindings for your controller. But it really doesn't matter too much exactly where each of those bindings are put on what paddle. That's not that big of a deal. You can get used to it. So that's about it for my bindings. Let me just show you the rest of my Elite controller settings really quick. So for the left stick, I have it on aggressive. It's faster, just like strafing. It's basically just more responsive. So I have that on aggressive. I use it for pretty much every shooter game because it's really good for strafing. Right stick, I use this for every shooter game, pretty much any game I play with the controller. I have the right stick on smooth. It just feels really nice for me, just having it on smooth. I like it a lot with my aiming. Triggers, I reduce the left and right trigger down. I basically try to remove that little penalty that you have, like before it even registers, like you pressing the LT and RT. So what you want to do is click on it, go down to the bottom one, and then scroll it to the left, and basically you can lower it all the way down, but that's a little sketchy. Sometimes you accidentally if you barely tap the trigger, it'll like shoot or whatever. So I just have it on 10, and I really like that. It's a lot more responsive. And then reduce the vibration down all the way, because that will obviously ruin your battery, waste your battery. And then brightness, yeah, that's obviously not that necessary. So that's about it, guys, for my Elite controller settings and my Roko settings. Let me just check if I got everything else. Yeah, you want the display damage numbers. You could do a cumulative if you'd like that, but I just like seeing each bullet, like how much damage it actually does instead of adding it all up. So yeah, that's just preference. And then yeah, that's about it. that's all for the settings, guys. So let me know what y'all think of these settings if y'all give it a try. Don't forget to hit a like and subscribe if you really like the settings and even want to see more Rogue Company videos in the future on my channel. I'd really appreciate it if y'all would do that. And thank you guys for watching and listening, and peace out.